John joins us. Hello, Johnny.
Hi, Goldstein. How you doing? You all right?
I'm good. How are you? Would you call me Goldstein?
Yeah, I call you Goldstein, yeah.
It's fine. I don't mind that. It's nice.
You do?
No, I don't mind.
I mind that. That's why you've asked him.
No,
straight away.
I'll tell you why. Right, that's nice. Because the reason I asked it is because you sort of stopped on the word gold and then carried it on because you didn't think it was rude. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I quite like it because it means people, they feel close to you.
They respect you.
They're your mates.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what the show's all about. What's your last name, John?
I followed you on Instagram.
Have you? Oh, good boy. Well, Andy Goldstein 05?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your last name, John?
Rusa, so it's H-R-U-S-A, sign H.
Say it again?
H-R-U-S-A, so it's pronounced Rusa.
Rusa.
Sign H.
Oh, great name, Rusa.
Rusa.
All right. Well, you call me Goldstein, I'll call you Rusa. Off you go, Rusy boy.
I was going to say that I think on the topic of Jake Paul, I was going to say I think he is really good for boxing. And I think one of the reasons why boxing's dying at the moment is because the top fighters don't want to fight each other. I think one of the examples of that is Errol Spence and Crawford. How long have they been trying to put that fight together forever and ever and ever? Like you've got, as Frank Warren just said about Joe Joyce, he's not fighting anyone of competition.
No, but do you not? I agree with you, right? When I was a kid growing up, I don't know your age, but when I was a kid, it was always the best for the best. It was Holyfield Tyson, right? All the big heads would always, Ben Eubank, they'd always get in the ring. I just think there's so much money involved with broadcasters. If you're with one broadcaster and the other boxers with the other, it's very rare. I think on only 2 occasions that 2 boxers who are signed by different broadcasters have met. I think Mayweather Pacquiao was one. I think Tyson Lennox Lewis was the other. It doesn't happen that often.
But the crazy thing is, like, if you compare it to UFC, for example, the UFC always has the top people fighting the top people because they have the rankings, and then the top people fight the top people. Whereas in this, it kind of feels like no one knows what the rankings are in boxing, really. Like in the heavyweights now, no one really will take White or Chisora seriously because they've lost so many times. It would be like Tyson Fury, Joshua. That's never going to get made because the money's too much. And then you've got obviously Usyk. So an Usyk's not really seen as like a massive threat to Tyson Fury at the moment, just size-wise, because Tyson Fury is as good a boxer and he's got more power in him. So I don't really see like where the money draws are. Like you have the people like, as I say, like Errol Spence. Like they're good boxers, but nobody cares about them because they don't make the money on the TV. Whereas Jake Paul, you have to give it to him. Like, I phoned up a couple of weeks ago and said that he would beat Tommy Fury, which I did think that would happen. But you've got to say, like, people want to see him lose or people want to see him win, and that's the objective of it, really. You're making a lot of money by doing that. So, like, a lot of people just don't care.
Rusy, listen. Rusy, thank you for your call. I'm going to speak to other people. Always a pleasure.
Cool. Cheers, thank you.
Thanks for boxing. We're talking Jake Paul. Reese is up next, an Arsenal fan. Hello, Reese.
Hello, guys. You all right?
We're great. How are you?
Yeah, lovely. Just finished work.
Okay. What do you do for a living, Reese?
I'm a chef.
Oh, okay. What sort of chef?
One that cooks food.
Oh, that kind of chef. Okay, yeah. What I meant was, I mean, you're being slightly facetious now. I was trying to take an interest in what you do for a living.
No, I was only joking.
I know you were.
I'm in the military.
Oh, okay. So where are you based at the moment?
Newcastle.
All right. And you cook for how many people?
Not many. I work in one of them. I work in one of the messes, so it's more.
All right, okay.
Smaller numbers.
Last question, then we'll talk boxing. If I was going to come around your house tonight, what would your speciality be? What would you cook for me?
Whatever you would like.
Yeah, but you obviously got a dish that you love.
Yeah, I love making like gurkha curries, traditional curries, nice ones, not like the slop.
Okay. Well, a curry that's not like the slop is good for me. Yep. Go on, Reece, talk boxing to me.
I hate Jake Paul, putting it quite bluntly. I think him and his brother, I think they're both a pair of donuts. I think they inflate the market more than what it should be. The comparison between boxing and UFC can't be made because the UFC's ran on a more structural, more realistic kind of basis where the money that they're getting paid is not crazy. Like the figures behind Jake Paul fighting, it's absolutely madness. Like he is nobody. And if I was a boxer that was coming through and had won the British titles and all the belts around my area, and I was 12-0, and I was earning 2-3% of what he's making, I'd be absolutely furious. He talks a lot. And I get that's why a lot of people like him. But for me, he just talks a lot of nonsense. And yeah, I don't see him being in boxing. I don't see that as a good thing.
Reece, how many fights before you actually think, actually, yeah, he's obviously fighting Hasim Rahman, who's a boxer. If he beats him, fights Tommy Fury, maybe, like Frank Warren just said, that potentially happen. How many fighters does he have to beat before you go, okay, respect, I actually don't mind him now?
Two or three. He needs to fight. He needs to fight a few people, and it needs to be believable, because at the moment it just seems all scripted. He needs to fight. He needs to fight people, and he needs to get that number up. And he what is he 5-0 at the minute? But he's not. He's only fighting mediocres and people that aren't boxers. If he goes to 11 and 12-0 and he beats some boxers, then fair game. That's a different story then. Yeah. But I think at the moment, the only person that's benefiting from any of this is Jake Paul and the people that he works with and the people that he's putting on his undercard. There's going to be something in there for him. He's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart. It's all money.
But listen, I hear what you're saying, but no one does anything for free, right?
Absolutely not.
We're all in to make money. I mean, the £8 an hour you're getting, if they took that away, you wouldn't come in.
No chance.
Let's speak to Josh, a Nottingham Forest fan. Hello, Josh.
How are we doing? You all right?
Yeah, we're great. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much.
Talk to me about boxing.
So, I was a boxer for 10 years. I then coached it for 10 years. And it's the likes of the YouTubers and your McGregor fighting Mayweather, the likes of that have made me completely fall out of love with boxing.
How much so? So you don't watch it anymore?
I'd no longer coach it. I don't keep up to date with it. I watch the big fights that are on, but I barely keep up to date with it.
When you say you don't coach it anymore, is that because of what you've seen happen to the sport?
Partly because I fell out of love with it, yeah. The bigger picture with the likes of the YouTubers come into the sport is they stand in the way of the grassroots of the sport developing. So your traditional way would be start as an amateur, as a teenager, develop your way up, perhaps win what was known as the ABAs. Your pinnacle would be to get in the GB team, represent the GB team in the Olympics, get recognised, get yourself a contract. Not everybody has that. That miracle path, but that would be the great way to do it. The likes of the YouTubers, it's all about money. They can jump in the first fight, get 50 million, whatever it is. People see that, youngsters see that. So the biggest thing that's come on the scene is the unlicensed boxing, the in-between. It's not professional, it's not amateur. It's an in-between where it's not sanctioned by any British Border Boxing Control or anything like that. They earn big money on the back of it. And that's all because of things like the YouTubers and your McGregor's fighting Mayweather for one of the highest purses ever. It makes young lads want to do that and not do boxing the long way and learn the sport.
Okay, Josh, what a great call. Have you phoned talkSPORT or Drive before?
First time I've ever called.
Okay, well, I really appreciate it. Make sure you call back again. You know what you're talking about. Is that okay?
I love that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks so much for your time.